Hello. I apologize if my lighting's kind of bad for this one, but I have my laptop shining in my face because I may be needing it for references. Reference, not references like a job, but to refer to. This video is along the same lines of the one I did about the medical alert bracelet safe till stable bipolar program. But this is something that is helpful for anyone with mental health, psychiatric conditions that has the potential of coming at some point that they may not be able to make decisions for themselves. It is called a psychiatric advance directive. Now, the term advance directive probably sounds familiar to some people because for a long time they've had them for medical purposes, healthcare advance directives, medical advance directives, living wills, power of attorneys. And what those things were for in the medical world, say for something happens, you have a massive stroke or something, you're not able to make decisions for yourself, you can, previous to any of that happening, sit down and with the help of a form, put in writing what kinds of decisions you would want to be made in certain situations, and or assign a person specifically that you would like to be able to make decisions for you. Usually with an alternate. Things like if two doctors say that you are brain dead and are not likely to come out of this brain dead coma, I'm being really generic here, that, you know, or there's no hope of you recovering, you do not wish to have a ventilator if you stop breathing, have CPR if your heart stops, have a feeding tube if you're not able to take food in. And you can pick and choose what and make changes to any of the things listed. You know, I would like CPR but not a ventilator, you know, things like that. Only recently have they come out with forms specifically for psychiatric situations. And these aren't really necessarily legally binding, but they are, you know, all of them. But they are general, you know, it's pretty unusual for them not to be honored. But these are more specific for psychiatric situations. If you're in a state of psychosis and can't make decisions for yourself, or mania and you don't see that you're manic and you're, you know, having behaviors and dangerous behaviors and things like that, you can, you know, while you're in a stable mood, sit down and, you know, once you fill out the form and that they are witnessed. I do believe in some cases, some documents are notarized and those are legal. But these advance directives just have two witnesses, though at least the example that I found. It goes state by state, by the way. And not all states have these, only 25 states have these. And I'm going to get more into specifically what a psychiatric advance directive would have in it that you could pick and choose and have on paper ahead of time. But let's talk about those states, such as mine, Missouri, that do not have psychiatric advance directives. In these cases, the best you can do is get a durable power of attorney and pick someone that you trust to make decisions that would be in line with the decisions you would make. And you would obviously have to discuss with them. You kind of, it bothers me, but I mean, you're kind of up creek if, like, for instance, say if someone agrees with me, the person I, vehemently as much as I do, no ECT under any circumstances, not again, never again, never again. How can I just be so sure that that person in a time of crisis isn't going to be coerced and talked into and manipulated by some doctor and then make a decision that I wouldn't make? But they're my durable power of attorney, and I'm psychotic, so I can't make my own decisions, and there's a paper saying she or he can. I mean, I'm pretty sure my mom would go the same way with that too, but there's always that concern. And that's why all states should have a psychiatric advance directive. It's just silly that you wouldn't. Let's see. I'm going to be looking at a piece of paper because it's quite a bit of information. There's no way I could have put it in my head, but if you're interested to find out about what your state may or may not have, you should go to National Resource Center on Psychiatric Advance Directives and I'll put this up, http://www.nrc-pad.org/ or search Psychiatric Advance Directives and go to the National Resource Center. There you can find frequently asked questions, getting started state by state to find out, does your state have it, and then what form is it, and then you can print out that form for your state and get yourself started. Legal issues and things, a whole bunch of other stuff on that site. And I'm going to stop here and move on to a new video for the rest of the information.